One day, the grandchildren went to the village where their grandfather once lived. After his death, the house remained empty and had to be dismantled and prepared for sale. They remembered this house well from their childhood. Then it seemed warm and safe. But when they crossed the threshold this time, the feeling was completely different. The house was dark, heavy, as if something old and evil had accumulated in its walls for years. The air seemed thick, and the silence was unnatural. They arrived because my mother said that we need to put things in order, because my grandfather died a long time ago. Grandchildren began to put things in order. They went through things, threw away junk, sold old furniture, and bought simple new ones. Everything went well until they reached the corridor. There was an old closet. It was massive, dark, as if it had been erected even before the house itself was built. Her grandchildren tried to move her, but she almost didn't give in, so they decided not to touch her yet. On the first night, one of them woke up to a strange sound. It was not the wind and not the creak of the floor. It was a slow, dragging noise, as if someone was moving something heavy very carefully. The sound was repeated several times, and then calmed down. In the morning they decided to check the closet. When they finally managed to push her away, a small door opened behind her, hidden right in the wall. Grandchildren were shocked. Grandfather never talked about any secret rooms. There was a narrow descent to the basement behind the door. They took a flashlight and went downstairs. There was an old cellar, shelves with cans, the smell of dampness and earth, but in the farthest corner lay a book. She was thick, rough, torn, half covered with fabric. When they picked it up, there was a strange feeling, as if the book was warm. The cover in English read, "The Book of the Sorcerer." The grandchildren began to flip through the pages. Inside were strange symbols, incomprehensible words, and a detailed description of the rite of summoning the spirit. It was written there that the ritual should be carried out after midnight, in complete darkness. Draw a 5-pointed star, put candles, and say the words of the call 3 times. They did not believe in such a thing, but decided that it was just an old strange book, and out of curiosity, they decided to check. At night, they turned off the lights in the house, painted a star, lit candles, and uttered words. At first, nothing happened. They even laughed, extinguished the candles, and went to bed, deciding that it was all nonsense. But that same night, one of the granddaughters woke up and went to the kitchen to drink water. When she looked out the window, she saw a black silhouette in the yard. He was too tall to be human. His eyes glowed red, and he looked directly at the house. She screamed. The others ran out to check the yard, but no one was there. In the morning, they saw a handprint on the glass of the window, a large, unnatural, as if left not by man. Then they first realized that they had made a serious mistake. The next evening, there was a sound from behind the closet again. A quiet whisper. He said the name. When they dared to move the closet away, the door to the basement was open, and from the darkness came a voice ... which repeated the same words that were written in the book. And then it became clear. Grandfather did not just live in this house. He left something here, and now something has woken up. After that night, the grandchildren no longer felt like guests in the house. It felt like the house was watching them closely. They tried to act as if nothing had happened, but every sound made me look back. The closet in the hallway no longer seemed to be just furniture. Now it was perceived as a door that is better not to open. During the day, everything looked almost normal, but with the onset of the evening, it became difficult to breathe in the house, as if the walls were slowly shrinking. They decided to go down to the basement again, but this time in the afternoon and together. The door behind the closet was closed, although at night they definitely remembered that they left it open. When they went down, the cellar looked different. The banks on the shelves did not stand as before, and there were marks on the floor similar to those of bare feet. The book was not in the corner, but in the middle of the basement, opened on a page with the same ritual. The grandchildren looked through the pages and noticed new lines that had not been seen before. It said that if the spirit has already come, it begins to become attached to the house and to those who called it.